Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we will be going over the newest event ship, and that is the Italian battleship Raphael, which is actually a tier 9 ship. This ship is actually very strong for many different reasons. So let's just toss ourselves into her stats. We have 80,800 health, 30% torpedo damage resistance, which is actually pretty decent, up to a maximum of 16 inches of armor. The belt has just shy of 16 inches as well. Looks like the max is going to be on the turret faces. We also have turtleback armor, and our citadel is actually very much under the water as well. I've had quite a few games in this ship, or at least enough games to know that this ship is practically uncitadelable. She's still going to take major chunk damage. She's got some pretty high freeboard, but besides that, she's pretty good, honestly. Her armor is very tanky. Our guns, we have 16-inch guns, so the biggest on any Italian ship as of right now. The fire rate is pretty low, but that makes sense. I have mine buffed as much as I possibly can, up to 1.83 rounds a minute. Turn second, 36 seconds is actually pretty good as well. You can see all the stats here, and then the velocity is amazing, and the damages for AP maximum is ridiculous. So it's 15,900 damage for a citadel hit with these guns. Now if I were to look at something like H42, the 480mm guns, it's only a difference of 200 damage. So that is absolutely the strongest 16-inch gun at this tier. It actually outdamages Yamato, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Nope, that's America. Here we go. Yeah, it outdamages Yamato citadels by 500 damage each. So these are easily some of the strongest guns you will ever find at tier 9. Add to that, we have a range of 23.6, which is absolutely massive as well. Pretty sure Yamato has the longest range, or it feels like it does. 26.6. So yeah, it still has quite a bit of range on Raphael, but Raphael's range is nothing to sniff at, and her accuracy and her shell velocity means she is an exceptional sniper. And when you're sniping with battleship shells that hit as hard as 19-inch guns, yeah, that hurts a lot. So our main guns are absolutely amazing. The only downside is rate of fire, but if you can go around that, then it's fine. I can actually even go for main battery reload and get mine all the way up to 1.93, so I can get an extra 0.1 second or so, or rate of fire. But I like to use secondary battery, and that is because this ship has a full armor-piercing secondary battery gun layout. So the 6-inch guns fire armor-piercing, and so do the 90 mils arranged on the superstructure. So they all fire armor-piercing, and honestly, it does a lot of damage against battleships and pretty much cruisers and all of that. The only thing it doesn't really work on is destroyers. So you may have to be careful about that, but it's no big deal. One thing where I haven't really had a chance to try it out yet, but I feel like she would not do as well as you might think, is anti-aircraft defense. Now her ranges are meh, but her damages are pretty nice, especially the outer ring DPS. That's at least having the highest AA stat at the farthest range is always going to be a positive thing. That being said, I haven't had many games against carriers where I just don't outright delete them at the beginning. So how she fares against aircraft is still up for debate, but she does carry a fighter. You can see this aircraft there. We have 3 of them, and I'm pretty sure we launch 2 at a time. We can take a look at that in game. Going back to the secondaries here real quick, we have a secondary range of 5 kilometers. Fully spec'd for secondaries, that includes the module and the crew skill, that goes out to 7 km, or just about. And it is pretty deadly. I've been able to citadel Missouris and Iowas with my 6-inch guns, and it's actually kind of ridiculous. You get like 5,000 damage too. There was just an update. The update that just came out today, there wasn't much, so it's not really worth going over, but there was a change in the speed of Raphael. She dropped from 31.5 knots to 30 knots. Not a big deal, but still, it's a change. And so that will complete the stats for the ship. She also has these consumables just to heal and stuff like that. So let's toss her into a game and see what we can do. Alright, let's see what kind of game we have today. Quite a few battleships actually, a few cruisers, all to cows, that'll be juicy citadels for the 6-inch, and one destroyer, and no carrier, and that works out perfectly for me. Alright, so we're going to head immediately to the left like I always do and get all of the free broadsides and do as much damage as possible. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied, so do keep that in mind. And let's see how we can do. So as you can clearly see, the turret rotation is pretty good. I do have a little bit of buff to that, but honestly, if you... normal Italian battleship turret rotation is amazing. It's the reload that gets you. So you can aim the guns at the target, but you have to wait forever and a day for them to actually load. But if you work on it as much as you can, they actually do become pretty manageable. They're never going to be amazing, but they'll at least get to average, I would say. Alright, and forward firing facing arc. It's not the best. So just about this kind of angle, you would still take quite a few pens, but anything from turret number 2 or B turret astern would probably ricochet, but anything from, well, turret B forward would definitely give you a pen and possibly a citadel, depending on what kind of angle it's coming in at. So we're going to immediately start off. Look at the accuracy of that shot right there. Just really, really nice, and he gets to the target really quickly. That's 18 kilometers out. I didn't do much damage, only one overpen, but at least it was a good attempt. Alright, let's see what else we have over here. So we have an Iowa, we have an Alsace, which are all pretty good citadels. Takao I'm going to ignore. My secondaries can probably take care of her once she turns broadside. We're going to try and nail this Alsace here. Let's see, pretty good. No citadels, but still 22,500 damage. And that's without a citadel. So yeah, these guns really, really do hurt. We're going to let you heal a bit. We're going to try and shoot Iowa here. Alright, so we're almost in range of this Takao with our secondaries as well. That'll be nice. 21.2k. Still no citadels though. It's kind of upsetting. Alright, so there goes our secondaries. And as you can see, all armor piercing. And the damages will start adding up quite a bit, especially when she turns broadside here. Now let's see if we can finally get some good damages into this Alsace. 23.7k. Got a first citadel on the Takao. She is turning a little bit more broadside. There's another one. 3,000 damage right there. 3,000 again. And she's going to soak up those torpedoes and goodbye. Alright, guns are reloaded. Just keep working over these few battleships here. Surprised I'm not getting any citadels on the main guns though. And actually, nope, there we go. 25k. So you can see how your main guns slap really, really hard. Even at great distances, she's a really good sniper. And at close-in engagements, you actually have enough secondary power to deal a decent amount of damage. You can actually ignore heavy cruisers too, and if they turn broadside to you, they're just going to suffer a ton of citadels. Alright, so there goes Alsace. Took a little bit longer than it should have, honestly. But she sunk nonetheless. And let's see what else we can do. There's Iowa. Let's see if we have to wait so we don't clip the island here. Yeah, we'll probably have to wait. That's fine. Maneuverability is not terrible, but again, she is a battleship, so don't expect her to turn on a dime. That's not really something she can do. However, she can one-shot a full Yamato. Let's see what the secondaries can do actually first. Yeah, 4,200, 1,300. So yeah, the armor-piercing secondaries are very deadly. And the rate of fire is pretty good from them as well. You just see the damages tick up, and it's always in the thousands or pretty close to it. At this kind of angle, though, they might start ricocheting. Still got into thousands, though. And then let's just finish her up with this one last salvo. Goodbye. Iowa is still up. There are no more cruisers, though. Then there's Raphael and an Alsace. The Alsace is giving me a slightly better angle. Which one do I want to go for? You know what? Let's actually go for the Raphael. She's low enough that we might be able to get a good chunk out of her. Look at this accuracy. That's one turret right there. 16k. Not enough to sink her, but we did do quite a bit of damage. And let's see what else we can do. Are we being shot at? I think that's towards us. Yep, that is. Okay. Let's just finish off the Raphael here. So we have one less battleship to deal with. Okay, so she actually ricocheted enough shells that she's still up. That's fine. I'm just gonna close in for secondaries, because I can do damage against all three of these battleships with my secondaries. But if the Iowa's gonna turn broadside, I can use this time to try and get some citadels around here. The Raphael is also healing, so we might as well heal as well. No citadel still. Secondaries have opened up on Raphael. We are still doing damage with them. Let's see if we can sink her with secondaries, though her secondaries just opened up as well. So we might not be able to lollygag here too long. Let's just finish off with the main guns. There we go. Alright, cool. Next. So if I can't get any citadels from range, then let's just try point blank. What's the worst that can happen? Alright. Only two ships left. It's Alsace and Iowa. Let's go. Can we get point blank citadels? No. Still 25k though. Alright, let's see if we can do a zoomed out citadel hit. Yeah, there we go. That always works. Secondaries focus on Alsace. And let's bring our front guns up for this Iowa here. There we go. Back up to full speed, and let's finish off Alsace here. Awesome. So, yeah, as you can see, she just kind of takes on anything that comes across her. Battleships, she could deal with relatively easily. Cruisers, you can just let your secondaries work on them. It's even worse on light cruisers. Destroyers, she will kind of suffer against. Her armor-piercing guns may actually ricochet and shatter. Well, maybe not shatter, but at least ricochet at certain angles. So you actually may have to use high-explosive main guns to delete destroyers. However, with the damages you're inflicting, it should only take one shot if you land enough of your hits. Carriers, she's pretty good at sniping them from range if they're spotted, but if they're not spotted and they just go full ham with their air attacks, you probably will succumb to them. I really don't think you have enough AA to protect yourself. But other than that, this ship is really, really strong. You should not underestimate this ship whatsoever. So let's see what actually damages we did. 398,000 damage, 5 ships sunk, 98 hits, 5 aircraft shot down, 14 citadels, 204 secondary hits for 10.3k base XP. 354,000 of that was just in armor piercing, and almost 44k was in the secondary battery, all of it which was armor piercing. So again, this is the current reward, or top reward, for the event that's going on for the everyday mission against the UFO, and this is one of the best event ships and one of the strongest event ships that has been in the game. I definitely would recommend getting her if you have the time and or diamonds to actually get the points. So thank you for watching. That will complete today's video. Tomorrow we'll be going over the newest supercarrier, Kuznetsov, and we'll be doing a duel video. So we're going to be doing a video on Kuznetsov, or a game in Kuznetsov, and then one in Liaoning as well. And we're going to compare both of these ships to help you figure out which one you may want if you decide to get one of them or both. And we'll show you the strengths and weaknesses and their similarities. So thank you for watching and take care.